What's good, YouTube? It's Nas, and we back with another video. Road to 300 subscribers, of course, and day one of the playoffs just ended. I just tried to record this video, so this is my second take on this video. It's 12:19 a.m. when I'm recording this video, and this game was where these. I'm not gonna overreact to game ones. Like, I know a lot of NBA fans are going to react to game one, saying the person who or the team that won game one is obviously the favorite to win the series, and I'm just not that type of person to do that. And obviously there were two good games in the it was two games in the playoffs today which I felt were good, and there was two games which were blowouts. So let's just get into it. And the first game of the night, which was the Indiana Pacers and the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Indiana Pacers did what they had to do, I feel like, to win this game. They were talking shit and they won by 20 points, which was deserved. But obviously they had their players step up for them. They had Andrew Nembhard, who seems to be a playoff riser. He had 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. Miles Turner stepped up. He had 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Pascal Siakam, he showed why he's the best scorer on this team. He had 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. And obviously, Tyrese Halliburton did what he had to do. He had 10 points, 12 assists, and 7 rebounds. And Benedict Mathurin managed to have 13 points. So the Pacers did everything they had to do to win this game, which I salute them to that. But the Bucks, except for Giannis, did look like they wanted to lose. Like, they did not show up to play basketball today or yesterday at all. Like, I don't know what the hell happened. Giannis gave it all. He had 36 points and 12 rebounds. And I'm looking at the stats. No starter had above 10 points. No starter had above double digits, which is completely sad for the Milwaukee Bucks if they want to stand a chance in this series before, obviously, Damian Lillard comes back. And Giannis can not do it all by himself. I said he might have a 2018 LeBron run, but he can't do that without at least a tiny bit slither of help. Like, the highest scorer off the bench was AJ Green with 15 points. That's just not going to do it. And Kyle Kuzma, I saw a stat where he has the most minutes without a field goal or without a stat in NBA history, which is completely sad. Realizing that they traded Chris Middleton, who was most likely the second best Buck of all time, for a player who didn't impact the game at all tonight. So it just really doesn't look good for Milwaukee. But hopefully they could step up. The others could step up and help out Giannis in game 2 so they could tie the series going back to Milwaukee, obviously. And the next game we're going to do is the second game of the night, which was the most exciting game of the night in the Clippers versus Nuggets. And this series, I said before in my playoff preview video, they had a lot, or not even that. Like, this series is going to be fun, and it's going to be the most interesting series because both of these teams are power forces. Like, they both match up pretty well, and they're both dominant teams. But obviously, this game went into overtime, and they were punching, like, they were fighting, like, both teams. Like, James Harden, he had 32 points, 11 assists, and 6 rebounds. Zubac, he had 21 points and 13 rebounds. Kawhi, he had 22 points and 6 rebounds. Norman Powell, he only had 12 shots, but he shot 12 points. He had 12 points, and the Clippers bench didn't show up tonight, which I really expected them to. Like, that's what separated them from the Denver Nuggets. I felt like their bench had a lot of depth to which I felt good that they were going to win the series. But obviously it's only game 1, and they were exploiting Bogdanovic, who was one of their best shooters, or most likely their best shooter on the team. So you can't really do nothing if he's not making shots and they're hunting you on the defensive end. You got to get out. You got to sit down. It's either put up or shut up. And Bogdanovic didn't put up. But on the Denver Nuggets side, the Denver Nuggets did everything they needed to do in the clutch. Like, they played a mediocre game at the start of the game. Like, I didn't know what was happening for them, and obviously the Denver Nuggets stepped it up in the clutch. And every time I watch them, it seems like they do that a lot. And Aaron Gordon stepped up. He had 25 points, 8 rebounds. He went 1 of 3 from the 3-point line, but he had a very clutch 3 in fourth quarter or overtime. I can't remember, but I know it was a much needed shot. Obviously, Jamal Murray had a few clutch buckets. He had 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. Nikola Jokic, he had 29 points, 9 rebounds, 12 assists. He showed why he could be the MVP this season, and he's one of the favorites to win MVP. But this game came down to the sixth man in Russell Westbrook, and Russell Westbrook replaced Michael Porter Jr. because Michael Porter Jr. was having a rough night. He went 1 for 4. He only had 3 points, but Westbrook came in the game. He had 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he came in and did what Russell Westbrook does nowadays. Like, he had a few bad moments, and the good moments overshadowed the bad moments tonight. Like, that's just what's gonna happen in Russell Westbrook's game now. Like, I just can't explain it. But tonight he had a clutch 3, he had a clutch layup, he had clutch offensive rebounds, he had 4 clutch rebounds, and in the clutch where James Harden was trying to get the ball in overtime, Russell Westbrook knocked the ball off of him, and obviously it was Nuggets ball, and that really sealed the game for the Denver Nuggets tonight. And Russell Westbrook was the most impactful player on the court tonight, which they're going to need Russell Westbrook in some type of ways if they want to win this series. Like, I believe I picked the Nuggets in 7, and they're going to need Russell Westbrook to step up and give them some type of production, not the bad production, but they need his good moments to overshadow the bad moments. That doesn't happen a lot, but they really need that if they want to beat this fully depth Clippers team, because the Clippers are going to come back with another punch on game 2. They're going to match up. They're going to play a much better game, and they're going to try to be on the offensive glass a lot more, so they just have to be ready for that. But obviously the third game of the night was the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons, and I felt like the Detroit played great. Like, Detroit did everything they had to do for the first 3 quarters. The fourth quarter, they completely collapsed, and their superstar didn't have a good game. Cade Cunningham, he had 21 points, 12 assists, and 6 rebounds. It sounds like a good stat line, but if you really watched the game, you could tell that Cade wasn't comfortable, and this was his first playoff appearance. I understand that, and he was trying to get fouls that obviously you don't get in the regular season, or you don't get in the playoffs compared to the regular season. So he's going to adjust. I know Cade is going to. That's just the type of player he is. But the role players stepped up. Tim Hardaway Jr. stepped up. He had 19 points. Tobias Harris, he had 25 points. Malik Beasley off the bench, he had 20 points. They did everything they had to do. It was just their turnovers which really screwed them up. And obviously in this game, like, you can't turn the ball over 19 times and expect to win. And those were mostly in the fourth quarter. So what do you expect to happen when you're going against obviously a top 3 seed? The Knicks haven't really beat comp, but they're a good enough team to close you out when you make a lot of mistakes like that. And that's what the Knicks did. Jalen Brunson, he had 34 points and 8 assists. Brunson was having a rough first half, but obviously he turned it around in the second half and in the fourth quarter. Karl Anthony Towns, he had an efficient 23 points and 11 rebounds. OG Anunoby, he had a good game with 23 points and 7 rebounds. Josh Hart, he had an impactful game with 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. And this game came down to, in my opinion, Campaign. Campaign came in the game in the clutch or in the fourth quarter, and he made huge buckets. Like, he reminded me of what he did in Phoenix a couple years ago. Like, he really was that good tonight, and he was the most impactful player in a Knick jersey tonight, which is a lot to say. Campaign, I know, over Jalen Brunson, over Karl Anthony Towns, but that's exactly what happened tonight, and that's just a good thing. Like, if you could get production off your bench, that's just even better, because you're going to obviously expect your starters to do this. That's why they have their starters. But if they want to continue on this path and possibly win game 2, they're going to need the same output. But getting into the final game of the night, which was a disaster for the Los Angeles Lakers, but an overall great game for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Like, obviously, the Timberwolves did everything that you expected them to do to win this game. Like, everything they needed to do to win this game, they done it. Where they did it. And obviously, Anthony Edwards, their superstar, didn't have a good game tonight, but he did everything else. Were a good scoring night, I would say. He did everything else on the court. He had 22 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds. He saw the trap coming, and he kicked it out, and his teammates got to work. Jaden McDaniels, he had 25 points and 9 rebounds. He stepped up. Julius Randle, he had 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, getting the others involved. Nas Reed came off the bench and does what he does. He had 23 points, 5 rebounds, and he had 6 and 9 of threes, which is great. Dante DiVincenzo, he came off the bench. He had 9 rebounds and 5 rebounds. 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. My bad. Obviously, if the Timberwolves want to win this series, it's only game 1, so I'm not going to overreact. But it's great that the Timberwolves seen production out of the others, because it's obviously not going to be, it can't only be Anthony Edwards stepping up in this series. It has to be guys like Jaden McDaniels, and it has to be guys like Nas Reed to help out Anthony Edwards. But this was just a great night for the Timberwolves, and Timberwolves fans should hope to expect this for the rest of the series. But obviously, the Lakers didn't have a great night, or they didn't start out the way they wanted to start out, I would say. Luka Doncic started out how you expect Luka Doncic to start out in the playoffs. Luka had 37 points and 8 rebounds. That's what you expect from Luka. Austin Reeves, he got it together in garbage time, which he was trying to get a rhythm, but obviously he ended up with 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Those stats don't say nearly as how bad he was tonight. Like, in the first half, he had like 2 points. They completely shut him out the game. He got a rhythm, and he started to get buckets. LeBron James, he had 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. LeBron did not play well at all. Like, I don't care what the stats say. If you was watching the game, you would know that he didn't play how you want or you expect LeBron to play in a series like this, where there's no real matchup to guard him. So LeBron and AR are going to look to have a bounce back, and you're going to need to help out Luka, because not even Rui had 9 points. Nobody really tonight helped out Luka at all when it mattered most. So that's why obviously the Lakers lost. But all of these teams are going to look to bounce back, and all of the teams that won are going to look to keep on building momentum and obviously try to go up 2-0. But let me know how you felt about the game 1s yesterday or tonight when I record or when I upload this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe.